in this video, what we'll do is, now as you're aware of inventory and delivery sections in the Ad Manager UI, we'll now work towards setting up your Google Ad Manager and Google AdSense account with the most optimal way so that your revenue is maximized. I'll help you migrate your AdSense ad units to Ad Manager and set them up as a backfill. In the previous video, I only explained to you guys the process of how to implement a single ad unit. So this was also a question that was coming in. So now in this video, I'll take you through the process of what needs to be done when you have multiple ad units. Now we'll migrate from AdSense everything except your auto ads. If you haven't enabled auto ads already, I'll help you understand why you should consider implementing them. So a setup would look something like auto ads plus ad manager units. Also, in this video, I'll be taking you through one of the most common mistakes that publishers make while setting up their AdSense via Ad Manager. So watch this video till the very end to avoid that mistake. Firstly, if you navigate to the AdSense Help Center article, you can see its definition, what Google says about it. So auto ads offer a simple and innovative way to monetize your content. You just have to place a single code in your pages, and yes, auto ads will scan your site and automatically place the ads in the places where it's likely to perform the best. So this is what is Google is telling about the auto ads. But to be very specific about why we need auto ads actually offers us with two specific formats that performs the well. So they are offering us a sticky ad that sticks at the top of the site. So if you have navigated, if you must have noticed a sticky ad at the top of the site. So that is being offered by AdSense Auto, and another one is the interstitial or the widget ads. So these are the two ads that actually help you to increase your revenue a lot. Now with that said, let's jump into the AdSense UI. To enable auto ads, all you need to do is you need to navigate towards ads overview, and yes, you need to actually see your site in here by site. And all you need to do is you need to click on this edit button, and you'll get an option in here. So here it says enable auto ads. Now once you enable auto ads, you have a choice of configuring which all formats do you want. So you can actually enable or disable any one of them if you do not like any particular format. People usually disable widget ads because they can be quite user intrusive. So if you are quite concerned about user experience on your site, you can consider returning these widget ads or the interstitial ads off. Once you're done with this, you can simply click on apply to the site button. Here you'll get two options. You can either apply it to the site right now, or you can run an experiment first. What this experiment will do is it will actually perform this test inside the AdSense local environment first, and it will give you the results of the revenue. So if you're not sure whether this result will bring in direct revenue to you, you can actually run an experiment. However, I will recommend that you directly click on apply now, because based on my experience, the AdSense auto ads actually perform the best when it comes to the revenue. So you can simply click on apply now and click on the save button. Now you can see the AdSense auto ads has been enabled. Now even though we have enabled this from the UI, to actually get started we need to actually implement this code inside the site. So to do that, we'll have to navigate towards back into our WordPress site. Now here is our WordPress site back again. So if you remember from the last session, so this was our WordPress site that we built it up. So now I took a leverage of actually importing a theme and building the site that actually gives us a real-time experience. So last time our site didn't had enough data, so anybody who would actually try to do things what I mentioned to you in the previous video tutorial in the real time, he would have encountered issues. So to ensure that the users don't face that problems, I've created a real-time site for you. Now you can see that here are various like article pages created. There's a sidebar in here, and yeah, so if you guys want to follow along with me, so this is a theme that I've chosen. So to know the theme, let's actually jump into the admin section of the WordPress for this site. So yeah, it's loading up now. The theme, yeah, so the theme is Swell Light, and you guys can download this theme on your own, and it's a free theme as well. So if you guys want to follow along and just for the tutorial or learning purpose, you can actually download this theme. The last video tutorial, if you remember, to edit anything inside the theme, the only additions we needed to do was actually to implement the header and body code that we generated from Ad Manager. Now we also have a code that we need to implement from AdSense. So last time what we did was we actually navigated to theme editor, and from here we actually manually navigated to header.php file and place the code in here. Now even though we can do it in this way, this isn't an ideal way that the developers do it, because this isn't the preferred way or the recommended way to edit code in the WordPress. So usually what do the developer do is they I usually use a code editor. Now, the WordPress, this WordPress installation is inside the local system, so we'll use a code editor to access and edit these files. And I have downloaded and installed Visual Studio Code. Now, this is a preferred choice for a lot of developers, and you can actually install Visual Studio Code by simply Googling it. So I'm not sharing the processes of how to do that, but yeah, a quick Google search should do it. Now, once you have installed Visual Studio Code, all you need to do is you need to add the folder of the installation for our theme. So what we can do is we can navigate. I'll show you actually the entire hierarchy. So this is my user main home folder. I'm inside Mac, so there'll be a folder that will be created for the local sites. Inside the local sites, you have to select and here the site. So this is our site we actually went for. Then we have to navigate towards app, public, and WP content. Inside WP content, you'll see the themes folder, and there are three themes. Ocean WP, there's 21, so this is the one which we used last time, but we will choose the Swell Light. So what I'm doing is I'm importing this code and adding it to my workspace, so it becomes easier for me to edit in here. Now yeah, all the files like we edited in here are available here, and any changes that we perform here would be reflected on the live site. So just for the sake of testing, I am just implementing a an h1 tag here to actually see whether this is working. So h1 and h1, mm, hello html or WordPress. Yeah, so yeah, no more hello html, it's hello WordPress now. Now we'll navigate back to our site front end, and we'll simply click on the refresh, and let's wait for the tag to open up. Yeah, so we are actually seeing hello HTML or WordPress. So this actually looks quite ugly, but this was just for the sake of testing purpose, to actually show you that the changes we are doing in the code editor are actually working. So I'm going ahead and I'm removing these changes. Now that looks good. Let me refresh again to ensure that this goes away. Yeah, and now that we are done. So if you remember that, all this setup we are actually doing to actually implement auto ads in here. So what what we should do is we should actually go in back to the AdSense UI, get in the code. Now getting in code is quite simple. We just navigated back again to the AdSense UI, and yeah, let this populate, and this will give us an option to get the code. So it might take again a few seconds. Meanwhile, if you're getting bored, I am not sure, what to say to you. So, while I was actually preparing this YouTube video, I've received actually quite a good feedback in terms of, what things I should do more often and what things I should do less. So one thing that it came in from, one of the viewer was, you should probably try to add in a little bit humor in here. But yeah, I'm trying to get in a little bit humor, but yeah, I'm not good at that. And right now, yeah, so let's leave the humor part as it is there, and we can go to the get code section. Now we have the code snippet in here. All we need to do is we need to copy the code from in here, and we can simply go ahead, and we are back inside the header.php file. Now we can simply go ahead and implement the AdSense code in here. So this is all you need to do. You need to implement the auto AdSense code in the head section of the UI, and everything will start working. Now for AdSense auto ads, remember there aren't any two sections of the code. So there is only head section of the code, and the body section AdSense is dynamically inserting inside your code. So yeah, we can actually click on done, and this should be all good in here. Now how do we check whether this is working? To be honest, you'll not see any ads from AdSense Auto, as this is a local host domain. So to ensure that we have implemented it correctly, we can quickly go to the source code, and we can see whether we are seeing the AdSense code. Now let's actually search for our publisher ID, and yes, so this code is actually implemented correctly and inside the head section of the UI. So if it was your real site, you are all done. But wait, for actually AdSense Auto ads to actually show, there is one last thing that you need to implement, and that is your ads.txt file. Now, let's Google in here what is ads.txt and why it is necessary. So ads.txt is an initiative from IAB that actually allows the publisher to authorize who should be able to purchase inventory from them. So inside your ads.txt file, you're authorizing the ad networks to sell your inventory. So if you do not authorize, or if you do not give the chance to them, so they'll not be able to buy ads on your site. So this is as simple as that. But right now, after the IAB imposed in ads.txt, if you do not implement ads.txt file, you'll not see the ads. Let's now actually see what's composed of an ads.txt file. So ads.txt file will consist several entries, and in each of the entry you're authorizing a particular ad network to purchase, or to actually monetize content from you. So you're authorizing them that you're authorizing, for instance, Google Adsense to actually show their ads on your site. So this contains like four you would say four columns, and inside the four columns, the first will be the network name, the ad network name. So this is Google AdSense, so the network name would be something like google.com. Then we have the publisher ID. Now the publisher ID represents uniquely your AdSense account. Now how do we actually fetch your AdSense account? You can simply navigate to your AdSense account and actually fetch in the publisher ID from the URL. Now this is this should be easy enough for you to actually fetch in the publisher ID from your URL. Now back to your ads.txt. The third column actually specifies whether you are directly authorizing this particular ad network, or is it via reseller? By directly we mean that directly you own that particular AdSense account. So for us right now it would be direct, but for instance you are working with a smaller ad network like Monetize More, or it might be Zoic. So these might be resellers. So by the resellers, they mean that they don't originally you do not have direct account in that particular ad network, but yeah, you're authorizing them to sell inventory on your behalf. And this lastly is an ID that corresponds to the ad network. So yeah, these are the four entries in your ads.txt file. Now you have the entries, and but wait, there's a challenge. Now how do we actually implement it? So ads.txt file will look something like it should be hosted at the root of your domain. So right now, if I specify in here in the URL ads.txt followed by the domain name, it should actually lead me to the ads.txt file. But right now, as we do not have ads.txt file, and nothing is opening up in here. So there are various ways to actually do that, and I am going to choose a way that actually is easier for me to do it. So we are going to use a plugin called as Advanced Ads. Now let's go in and actually install Advanced Ads. So this plugin will actually be helpful for us in the future when we are actually segregating out the inventory also, and when we are actually implementing various ad units. So this is actually a good plugin to have. So yeah, you can go in with Advanced Ads. But if you are a pro developer and you know how to actually implement the codes directly inside the teeth folder, or you are actually aware that how you need to implement file ads.txt file at a root of your domain, you can actually go ahead and do it yourself. Now we have this plugin that is Advanced Ads, and it has like right now more than almost a million active installations. So you can simply go and click on install now. Let's wait for it to install. Yeah, I was telling, like, Advanced Ads actually comes in handy, but if you're a good developer, you can actually go in without it as well. So usually developers prefer you to use the least plugins as possible, because using a lot of plugins will also create bloat on your site, and then you'll have to optimize your site. So yeah, that's why many developers prefer to use the least plugins as possible. Now yeah, we have Advanced Ads installed and it can be seen here. So all we need to do is navigate to the settings section. Yeah, so here if you navigate down, you'll see an option to implement your ads.txt. So right now what we should do is we can actually simply copy in the entry from in here, and sorry, yeah, so we can actually provide in here. But to actually we need to also replace the publisher ID from the URL as I showed you. So to fetch the publisher ID, you can simply navigate to your URL and you can fetch it from here. Now we are inside, like, let me replace it fully. Yeah, there's an extra slash. So yeah, that is it. So I'm saving the settings on this page, and yeah, that's it. So that is what you'll need to actually implement the ads.txt. Now if I actually go and type in ads.txt, yeah, so you're seeing the ads.txt in here. So this is an entry, this is the comment section that says that it's from Advanced Ads. So yeah, this is how easy it is to implement ads.txt. If you remember, I mentioned to you in the start at the start of the video that our setup would look something like auto ads from AdSense and our own ad manager units. Now, why it's important to have our own ad manager unit? Because these ad manager units give us the full control to serve any advertisements of our choice. So with this, if you set up our own ad units, we'll also be able to serve the direct ads. So direct ads, keep that in mind, that these are the highest paying ads, and if the direct ads don't fill in, we can actually move into other networks and set up AdSense, so on. So yeah, so this would be our basic setup. Now, where do we want to position our ad? For the sake of video, we'll position 1728 cross 90 ad here. So this would be above the home section and the celestial body section. Then we'll place another ad in here, that would be in the middle of the the paragraph, and we'll position one ad at the side. So yeah, so these are our ad in its requirement. With that said, let's actually begin to actually generate code for these ad units and actually implement them. Okay, now let's go back to the ad manager, and let's see what ad units do we actually have already. So if you remember, we already created a 300 cross 250 medium rectangle unit. Now let's actually proceed to create another unit. So this would be our leaderboard. So yeah, we can go ahead. So I'm just giving it a 1 because we already have a leaderboard in here. So yeah, don't get confused. You can give in leaderboard only. For now, I'm selecting in the size 728 cross 90, and target window, I'm setting it to blank, and I'm clicking on save. So okay, now we have the ad unit. So this is the ad unit. One is the leaderboard. Oh wait, let's refresh. So this isn't reflecting in here. So yeah, it will reflect. So we have actually, if you remember, so we'll be needing one 728 cross 90 unit and two 300 cross 250 units. So for 300 cross 250 units, we already have the ad unit that we created, that is the medium rectangle. So, and for the 728 cross 90, we have just created a unit. So this is the 728 cross 90. Okay, so here is our leaderboard one. So I'm actually, deleting these units, so that it doesn't create confusion for us. So I am actually archiving them. So there isn't a permanent delete option in Ad Manager. Once anything is there in Ad Manager, it persists. But however, you can actually archive them. So once we archive, this is a filter that states that only have active and inactive units. So we'll only see the ad units we need. So right now, okay. So now we have our leaderboard and medium rectangle. Now, if you remember in the last video tutorial, I actually went ahead and generated the tags directly from in here. But right now we actually have two ad units. So I cannot simply go ahead and follow this approach of generating codes from here, because here the code generated will only have a single ad in it, and we need to have a header code that contains all the ad units. Generate code for multiple ad units in a simplified manner. We'll use a tool that is called Ad Manager Tag Generator and Tester. So this is the URL, and I'll be providing it for you guys in the video description. And you can also actually Google Ad Manager Tag Generator and Tester, and it will lead to your screen. It looks something like this. Now we can simply go ahead and actually provide our ad manager ad network ID. So this is our ad manager ad network ID. We can fetch it from the URL. So first thing we need to provide in is that network ID. So yeah, once we are done with the network ID, we can go ahead and provide in the ad units name. So if you remember, we have an ad unit that was called leaderboard 1. So I will simply copy paste the code name. So I've used the same name for name and code, but yeah, please remember that always use the code name. So we are providing the code name, and the size is 728 cross 90. Now yeah, that is good. Now we'll need another ad unit, that is the medium rectangle. So now going back, we have the medium rectangle unit. Okay, so now there is a medium rectangle unit, and I'm actually providing a medium rectangle, and here we have 300 cross 250. Okay, that sounds good. Now we actually need another 300 cross 250 unit. So we can simply copy paste this, and we'll use it 300 cross 250. And yeah, so actually we have a choice of actually creating a new unit versus retaining the same unit. So if we actually retain the same unit, we won't be able to target them exclusively. By targeting them exclusively, what I mean is, if you have a requirement to target different ad on the, the ad that appears the sidebar and the ad that appears in the between the paragraphs, you should actually go ahead and create another ad unit that will be called medium rectangle 2. But however, I needed to show you guys that we can actually go ahead and use the same name as well for the ad unit. So I'm using medium rectangle only. So this will be one single ad unit and it will create two ad slots. So this is the concept, not many people are aware of. So I thought, I'll actually show you guys. Before actually going ahead and clicking on generate tags, let's actually explore some advanced options. So I am actually selecting center ads from here. So this, what it will do is, it will actually solve the problem of centering the ads for us. So this is quite an handy feature. If you do not enable it, we might have to do it manually, but depending upon our theme, there might be a still need to actually manually enable it. And yeah, another thing we have is collapse empty divs. Now this is a requirement that ensures, this is a feature, sorry, not a requirement. If you enable this, what it does is it actually collapses the div if there are no ads. So if an ad is available, you'll see the full ad. Otherwise, if this feature isn't enabled, you'll see an empty slot. So to ensure that you don't see an empty slot, you can simply enable this option. However, I'll recommend that you do not enable this for now, because for Google Web Vital updates, there was an update that came in for CLS, that stands for your layout shift. So CLS actually means that you know not the Mercedes CLS. So CLS Google, sorry, CLS, sorry again, CLS Google SEO. So yeah, so this stands for actually cumulative layout shifts. So what it implies is, if you have a layout that looks something like this, then there shouldn't be a lot of shift and there shouldn't be a lot of change in that. So if we are actually collapsing this div, for instance, if this ad isn't available, if we collapse this div, this would definitely impact the CLS. So we can actually keep this feature disabled for now. Earlier I used to actually enable this default, but right now we'll keep it disabled. And that's it. We can simply go ahead and click on generate tabs. Now yeah, we have actually the header code and the body code, and this is a single code and we can simply implement it. Now if you see, we are seeing currently only one ad in here. Ideally we should see three ad, but why? If you have watched my last video, and I'm sure, like, I'm telling you, repeating this like this with my last video, and I hope it doesn't get boring. But yeah, this is actually to keep in touch, that you are going and following along all the steps that are from the scratch. So this is to ensure that if you haven't watched, you can go and watch the previous video for this and come along and follow. Now coming back to this, we are actually not seeing two ad slots, so we need to actually fix that. So to fix that, what we need to do is we need to actually go into the delivery section. So delivery section, actually, as I've mentioned again in my previous video, repeating that again, so this actually takes care of the actual ads, while inventory we are just scheduling the ads, whereas the delivery section actually cares of the actual ads. Right now, we'll enable AdSense as a backfill for this, but for the sake of testing, we're actually providing in our direct ads. So this becomes much easier for us to test, because without actually seeing the ads, we have no idea how it will actually appear. Now This is the line item that we created previously. This is targeting the medium rectangle unit. Now we have a medium rectangle unit, so to ensure that we see ads in the other unit, all we need to do is we need to simply duplicate this ad. So this duplication will simply ensure that we see ad in this ad slot. So medium rectangle, because the ad unit is same, so we'll simply duplicating the ad will resolve the problem, and we'll actually start seeing ads in the second slot. uh, some people assume that Google Ad Manager will reuse an ad for a particular ad request, but this doesn't happen. So you need to ensure that if you have, like for instance, 5 ad slots of 300 cross 250, there should be at least 5 copies of ads inside your line item, or else all of those slots will not fill at once. Now, yeah, we have another task. We have to actually add the 728 cross 90 size. So let's go ahead and add in 728 cross 90 size in here. Yeah, so this is the leaderboard size, and we have to select the ad unit in here. Leaderboard 1 is our ad unit. Save. And we'll go back to the creative sections, and we'll now actually add the creative. So this is the 728 cross 90. I think I actually downloaded the creative beforehand, so it should be quite easier for us. Let's wait for it to load. Meanwhile, we can just fetch the landing page URL for KFC. Yeah, sorry. KFC. Yeah, this is the URL. Always go for copy link address. Yeah, so now we have address. We can go ahead and type, select the image creative type, and yeah, we have the 728 cross 90 KFC ad already in here. Simply provide in the landing page URL. Now this size is actually different. So what is the actual size? It is actually a little bit smaller, but yeah, I would actually go ahead and actually allow it. So this would actually fit at this size. But if you need to actually solve that problem, or wait, let's solve this problem by first hand. So to solve this problem, what you need to do is you need to actually find that creative inside your inside your computer where it's located, and you'll need to simply resize it. So what I'll do is I'll resize this to ensure that it is the dimensions of 728 cross 90. I'm providing it 728 cross 90 right now. So this will ensure that that error is resolved. Now going back into ad manager, we'll upload the creative back again. Let's select the image, and yes, so hopefully, fingers crossed, yeah, this should be solved, and it is solved. And yeah, we'll click on save. While it waits, okay, it didn't wait a lot. So right now, we'll need to wait for 5 to 10 minutes for actually ads to start appearing in here. So I'll actually you can pause the video, and you can resume in once all the ads are actually starting to appear. uh, Meanwhile, what I'll do is I'll proceed to actually setting up these ad units inside this site. So we'll start implementing the ad code inside site. Now let's go back to the site's WordPress. We'll be using advanced ads for this. So advanced ads actually simplifies a lot of the manual work for us, so I prefer using this advanced ads. So in advanced ads, to quickly give you an overview, so we earlier used it for implementing Ads.txt, but right now we'll be actually using it to implement ads. So there are two things that we'll be actually needing from this. One are the ads, and one are the placements. So placements are the positions we are defining inside the advanced ads. So let's quickly create a placement that is for the header code. So this placement, we can simply give it a head code name, and yeah, so we can simply save it. So this will ensure that any ads we create, we can place it in the head section. Now we can go ahead and create another placement that is uh, for okay, so here actually there are by default placement that is available for an after content ad. So yeah, I can select that. So this would be for our second 300 cross 250. So this will be we can mention it medium rectangle, sorry for the typos, in content. Yeah, so yeah, we are saving this new placement. So now we have two placements in created. I am actually not creating the placement for, let's actually navigate to the front end. So if you remember, I mentioned to you that we'll be needing 3 ad units. Right now the advanced ads placements I'm only using for this particular unit. For this particular unit and the sidebar unit, I'll be showing you a different way to actually implement it. So in this video, I'm just trying to ensure that you are aware of what to how to implement the codes with using the plugin or without using a plugin or using a widget. So I'll try to ensure that I cover all for you. So now, okay, we are set with the placements. Now let's go ahead and start implementing the ads. Now we can go to the new ad. Now this will be the head code first. So first in the ad manager, we need to implement the header code. I can simply copy the header code from in here and yeah, provide it in here. It's all set. I'm actually setting it to publish. Now it's asking me where do I want to position that. So I've already defined a placement for that. So let me assign that placement with the head code. Now head code, we have a placement and I'm assigning the head code to it again. So this is all set. Now we'll create another ad that will be our 728 cross 90 ad. No, sorry, the 300 cross 250 ad, because right now we are focusing on the 300 cross 250 that is in content. 300 cross 250 in content. Okay, so this we can actually this was the 728 cross 90. So in content we can use the ad slot 2. So we can simply provide in the code in here. So click on publish. Okay, so we go back to the placements. Here we assign the 300 cross 250 in content. So you could have also named it medium rectangle. I'm bad with the naming conventions. Please don't follow mine. Yeah, they'll get you nowhere. So now let's visit our site and see, where we are. So do we see an ad inside the content? You're not seeing any. So there isn't a need to get afraid. There was an instructor of mine these to actually encourage us to actually, oh, we see an ad. Oh yeah, so we are actually seeing an ad after we implemented a thin content. So if you remember that we decided to implement it here, but it's actually appearing down. So let's fix that first. We'll go to the placements. So show options, add label, enable, disabled, show all options. Okay, it's not showing us the default options. Okay, let's create a new placement then. Here we implemented it after content. Now we can actually inject it inside the content. So 300 cross 250 in content. Save new placement. So here, if you see, this is actually giving us an option to insert the paragraph. So we can actually keep in after the first paragraph. I will actually go ahead for this in content add. Now, yeah, the naming convention also sinks in now. We can, okay, firstly save this, and then at the later stage we'll delete it. The different placement we created. Okay, so we were not liking in the placement that came in bottom, so we are simply deleting that placement, and the first we are inserting it after second position. Okay, now let's go ahead and visit the site pack again. Yeah, so this looks much better. The ad is automatically centered. So yeah, if we wouldn't have used like center ads inside the ad code, so yeah, this function, let me quickly show you in the ad code once again. Define slot. So if we wouldn't have used this, we would have to manually center this ad via the CSS. So yeah, this is done for us now, so no need to do that. Okay, the next task for us now is to actually implement the 728 cross 90 add in here. So I'm actually aware that I'm using actually a lot. Yeah, I cannot help it. So we have to implement 728 cross 90. So to do that, let's try to do it from advanced ads in first. So we'll navigate to the placements. Okay, so let's try to create a new placement. So if you actually see in the placements, there are options to actually insert the code before content, after content, inside the content, but there isn't an option for actually inserting the ad in here. So how do we do that? So to do that, I actually mentioned to you that I'll show you a different approach. So what we'll do is we'll navigate inside the code for our theme file. So if you remember, I actually helped us set up the theme folder for us, and we actually implemented the AdSense Auto code in here, or AdSense Auto ads code in here. So now we'll use this file to actually implement the body code for 728 cross 90. So where is the body code? We have it in here. Okay, so let's copy the 728 cross 90 code in here and navigate to our header.php file. Now, where should we implement it? Now, header.php file actually is contains the things that will be saved across all the templates of the WordPress. So if you see in the home page and in this article page, we see that the header is consistent. So this is most probably this is coming in from the header.php file. So let's check in from the theme. So okay, so this is the menu code. Then yeah, this is the header image we are talking about. So this the header image, and the logo that we implemented is coming in from here. And okay, so we need it to be implemented after this image and the logo. So we can place the body code in here, and yes, this should do it. This should help us. Now let's refresh. We're not seeing the ad. There's actually, I believe, a setting that I've messed up from Ad Manager, due to which I'm not seeing the ad on all refreshes. Let me check. Oh wait, refreshing again while we go to Ad Manager to check what's wrong. Now this is set to as far as fast as possible. So to, yeah, this should ideally work. This shouldn't be the case. Yeah, so the ad is actually appearing. I'm not sure why there was a delay though, so we'll have to check it later. You can see that we see the 728 cross 90 ad. However, there is no spacing in here, and many of us would actually want to resolve that issue. So to do that, let's actually jump back into the code once again. So to do that, we'll need to apply style for this particular div. So let's add in a class. name it ad styles, and this is the class. So now we have defined the class in here, so we'll need to actually uh, tell it what to do inside the styles.css file. So styles.css file controls all the styles for your uh, WordPress. Now, okay, so we can simply go in here and mention ads.styles and wait. When I'm seeing this code, I see it's actually properly structured. So let's follow the same naming convention and don't screw up everything for them. So here they have mentioned, let's see where's the last bit of styles. Yeah, the last bit of style is labeled like 26, and this is for the Gutenberg is the UI for WordPress. So guys, don't quote me wrong if I go wrong on the things for the WordPress. I'm also quite new to WordPress and learning along with you guys. So yeah, but if anything is related to ad manager, I can say that I know the product, but with respect to WordPress, I'm still new at things. Now we can label this 27 and give it ads styling. Okay, now we can specify a margin top here. So we can go in margin top. For instance, I'll go in for 20 pixels. Okay. Now this should actually resolve our issue. So let's refresh. It might be we might not see the ad again. No, we're seeing the ad, but we are not seeing the margin applied. Wait, let's see if we have saved both these files. Okay, we have saved both these files, and this is the margin top. So yeah, this should work for us. Just refreshing once again. Yeah, so this is actually is done. So yeah, now you might say that this looks bigger here, smaller here. So guys, I'm not a developer or a UI specialist for you, so I just told you the way how to do it, and I know I'm not very good with the styling, but yeah, you can play around, where to actually approach and where to actually start and how to style your ads if you need to position them in a certain manner. So that's the goal for this video. Now we have two ads in here, and we need to solve in the last thing. So for the last thing, let's go back, and we actually see an option to position inside the sidebar from the advanced ads, but I told you guys that I'll show you another way. So I will show you how to do that via the widgets. Now let's go to the widgets. Here inside my theme, there is a default sidebar widget that is created, and so this sidebar, okay, I have not refreshed in here. Okay, and or I can navigate to the moon page. So this widget has actually given us a flexibility to edit things inside the default sidebar from the WordPress backend. So here there is search, there is recent post and recent comments. So search, recent post and recent comments. So for instance, if we want to place the ad between search and recent posts, so we can go ahead and implement a custom HTML, yeah, and implement the body code for the 300 cost 250 ad unit in here. So we use the ad slot 2 here. Now we'll use the ad slot 3. So that should do the trick. Sorry, we have to go back to widgets. Now I'm clicking on save, clicking on done, and just refreshing. Okay, so we see the ad, the 728 cost 90 here, 300 cost 250 here, and the 300 cost 250 in content as well. So I would say that what we started with was the goal to place the ad strategically in these three positions, and we have completed that. So we can actually give a pat on our back. Now let's see how are the ads looking in mobile for us. So we can go to the mobile view. Yes, click on the icon in here. So let's choose, yeah, let's keep it to pixel 2, for instance, Excel, and we can refresh. And I'll just change in the orientation in here so it, now we get a better view. So if you look closely, you can see that, this ad is actually getting cropped. So, okay, you might not be seeing, so let's go to the desktop view. So here in the desktop view, you're seeing the full ad. Here it is getting cropped. So we do not see the make your wish button. So make your wish now button gets disappeared. And let's scroll bottom. Okay, so the rest of the ads are absolutely fine, but we are seeing an issue definitely with the 728 cross 90. So how do we fix that? So to fix that, we have a solution, and that solution is called size mapping. Now what is size mapping? Size mapping in ad manager allows us to serve different sizes for different ad units. So we can serve in 728 cross 90 in here for the desktop. So 728 cross 90 will serve in the desktop. However, for mobile, we can choose in a different size. So let's go in and actually implement size mapping. So size mapping is relatively easier to implement. So to implement it, this is another of the the advanced options in here. So we are back inside the ad manager tag generator and tester, and we'll click on size mapping. Here you get in two options, so you have to specify that what is the viewport size. So we have to decide the breaking point in here. So viewport is here, it's the width by height. So we can actually say that any device that is more than 900 pixels. I'm just providing the height only 0, because the height is consequential, because we are only considering the width right now to determine whether this is a desktop or a mobile. So we are telling that if the device is width is greater than 900, we can serve in the 728 cross 90 ad. Else, up to device width of 0 cross 0, we can serve in, for instance, 300 cross 250 ad. And yeah, and what we'll do is, this is the leaderboard one ad unit, and we will be assigning it a size. So here we are again providing in 300 cross 250. So you can provide it or you can skip it, because once you actually provide in the mapping, the control is going to actually to the mapping. So the sizes are being defined by this. These sizes become inconsequential. So we can go ahead and click on generate tags back again. Now we get in the updated code. So if you closely see, we are not seeing the third ad, and I am sure like you guys must be aware of a quick fix of how to do that. So if you forget, don't worry. So if you remember inside the line item, let me go back inside the ad manager and go back to the line item. We only had two ads inside the line item. So we had only, sorry, two 300 cost 250 ads. So here we are only seeing two 300 cost 250 ads. So to quickly resolve that, we can copy in the 300 cost 250 ad in once again. So this is an easy task for us. Copy in one more time. So we'll get in to see 300 cost 250 ad in the leaderboard slot as well. Now, not immediately, these changes take across 5 to 10 minutes. Now the only changes that we need to change inside the code would be this mapping is getting added if you closely see, and yeah, this mapping is being added to the leaderboard ad unit. So we can copy this code and replace this code in the advanced ads. So back inside the advanced ads, we'll need to find in the header code, and we have to replace it. Sorry. So we have to navigate into ads in here, the header code, click on edit. Yeah. So you can mm, replace the new code. So just verifying whether the new changes, yes, size mapping is in here. So this is the new code. Updating it now. Okay, now going back to the site, going for the mobile view back again and refreshing. And let's pray that this resolves. This will resolve, but yeah. Okay, one, two, three. Okay, we do not see an ad at all. So, okay, let's refresh. Okay, so something must have gone wrong with the ad code. So this, this thing that went wrong with me right now can go wrong with you. So I'll actually take you to the process of actually how to troubleshoot things now. So I'm going back to the desktop view. I'm appending Google FC in here. Okay, so Google FC, Google Publisher Console will open right now. So this is actually giving us the error. So it's telling Google defined slot was called without a matching display call. So yeah, now I'm aware what actually went wrong. So when we, whenever we click on generate tag in here, this tag manager code actually generate new IDs. Now we have replaced in the code inside the head section here, but we'll also need to replace in the code inside, the body slots. So inside the body slots, we have three positions in here. We have the 300 cost to 50 in content. So this in content was the second unit in here. I am copy pasting the code from here right now. So you see the ID changed. Okay, so this is the result. Now the second code we implemented inside the widgets. So we are going back to the widgets. So this second 300 cost 250 will replace it inside the widgets. Okay, the custom HTML. Let's replace this. Okay, so this is just giving us a warning. Okay, they are just telling us to use tabs for authentication. So we can ignore that. We can click on save and click on done. And one last place. So we did all this for the leaderboard unit. So we have to replace in the body code for the leaderboard unit. So where is it implemented? It's implemented inside the code directly, and we'll have to go back to our header.php file. So going back to our header.php file. Okay, so I am not replacing this entirely because we have added in a style in here class. So first let me copy this class in here. Okay, now we have the class. Now I am going ahead and deleting this and updating this. Now hopefully things should work for us, and if it doesn't, don't worry, we'll get to, we'll ensure that it starts working. So now we are back to the site. Okay, now let's refresh with Google Publisher Console itself and see firstly whether the errors are resolved. Okay, so we see the errors are resolved, and here also you'll see the status displayed in here. So if while you are actually trying to do something and anything goes wrong, the best approach to test it is via the Google Publisher Console. And if everything is good, you should see in here displayed, and there shouldn't be any errors or warnings coming up in here. Now let's go back into mobile. Okay, refreshing, and hopefully we'll see a 300 cost to 50 ad. Voila. So we are seeing a 300 cost to 50 ad in here, and we are seeing another here. And now that it's almost 5 minutes while we are troubleshooting and doing this, we'll also most probably see a 300 cost to 50 at the bottom. Yes. So while we actually, I showed you how to troubleshoot, we also fixed this issue. So now we are aware of size mapping, and we are also aware of how to troubleshoot when you're not seeing any ads. So that is actually a good thing to know. Another thing to note is right now we have gone with size mapping. Size mapping helps us create responsive ads, but this isn't still a fully responsive approach. If you want to ensure that your ad size is fully responsive, by fully responsive I mean that if it scale it should scale along when you resize the browser. So this currently doesn't happen. We are simply switching in different size for different viewports. So to ensure that we make it fully flexible, you'll have to use a fluid size, and you'll have to create a native template. In the future videos I'll be showing you how to create a fully responsive ad as well. So don't worry, we'll cover that as well. And yes, one last thing pending before we conclude this video is actually enabling AdSense for this ad units as a backfill. Now, we have actually mentioned in here, we have scheduled KFC's ads, but KFC isn't paying us to actually serve their ads. So for publishers who are getting started, it's important that they set up ads as their programmatic ads instead of the direct ones. So direct ones are for publishers who get who are big enough that they have a sales team, and they're able to get in contacts from the direct advertisers, and direct advertisers want to advertise with them. However, for small publishers, it's actually a long road ahead. So what we'll do is we'll actually enable AdSense as a backfill for these units. So if you have a direct ads, we'll serve the direct ads, otherwise we'll serve AdSense. Now to do that, most of the publishers, what they'll do is they'll actually go back to their ad units and ads inside AdSense overview, and they'll go by ad unit, and they'll actually start migrating their code from here to actually here they'll create a line item, and they'll create a price priority line item, provide in the size, and inside the code they'll actually provide in the code that they get from here. So they'll provide in the code that they get from here. So let me tell you why this isn't a good approach. Now, once you enable this ads as a price priority or any other line item, what you're doing is you're actually telling ad manager to serve this ads regardless of whether there's an actual ad returned or not. So what do I mean by that? Once you're serving ads via the programmatic networks, there isn't a guarantee that your AdSense would always fill your ads. So with AdSense the fill rates are quite high, but there might be scenarios in which like AdSense might not have an ad for us. So in those sort of situations, what we want is we want the control to be returned back to an ad manager, or maybe like our house ads, this for instance KFC ads might serve. So first preference will go to AdSense. If it has an ad, it serves the ad, otherwise the next ad. So it might be this KFC ad, or it might be another network in here that gets a chance to serve. So if we schedule this as a direct line item, we do not get this option. So to do that simply, what we need to do is we need to go to the ad units, and there's an option that tells us maximize the revenue of the unsold inventory via AdSense. So if you check this option, AdSense ads are automatically configured as a backfill for you. So they get a chance to serve only when AdSense has an ad, otherwise other ad manager line items are eligible to serve. If you go with this approach in which you're setting up a line item, whether it's price priority or standard, if AdSense doesn't serve an ad, it will be a blank ad, so no other ad networks will get a chance to serve. That's it guys, I wrap my video with this. So thank you for watching my video. So if you have managed to survive until this very end, I hope you must have liked the video. Not literally liking the video on side the YouTube, what I mean is you must have really liked the content. So if you have really liked the content, you can like the video as well. Now, lastly, a glimpse of what you can expect in the future videos. So, in the future videos, what I'll do is I'll work towards setting up these ad units for header bidding from Amazon. So, header bidding are also a great way to actually monetize your content, and they work similar to the AdSense backfill that we have set up. So, they only serve ads when they actually have an ad, and the control automatically gets returned to Ad Manager. Another thing that we'll set up in the future video is an outstream ad. So we'll be focusing on setting up an outstream ad using a network called as Premise. Now, Premise or any other outstream ads are a great source of CPMs or revenue. Their CPMs can be 3 to 4x when compared to the normal display ads. So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching my video. See you in the next.